Recording in progress.
Okay. So yes, we started our discussion on the organisms of the organization of the living organisms. It means the topic is telling us that how in an organism, which are the things which collectively perform their function within an organism. Okay, just like if you are moving, for example, you are moving. So in moving, in your movement, what is the organization of your body? So what is the organization? Your cells will get energy. Okay, there will be aerobic respiration. In the result of aerobic respiration, your cells will get energy, your muscles will get energy, and your leg muscles will get more energy. So in your leg muscles, there will be more mitochondria available. Okay, so and your brain, your central nervous system will send the message to your body that what has to be done right now. And similarly, if you are instead of moving, instead of just walking, if you start running, what will happen? Your body system will change, your body's organization will change. Okay, it will change in a manner that you will your breathing rate will increase. You know, when we run, what happens? Our breathing rate becomes more as compared to the normal, right? Why it becomes more? Because when you are running, you need more energy. Okay, you need more energy. Your legs, your legs and your hand muscle need more energy. So how come your body will fulfill these needs? It will be completed by more aerobic respiration. Okay, for more aerobic respiration, your body need more oxygen. You know what is aerobic respiration? That was simply the glucose breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen, right? It is the breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen. So if you want to break down, and why aerobic respiration occurs? For the purpose of getting ATPs. Okay, your body need ATP. Our body need ATP to perform its activities. So when you are doing a more energetic activity, in that case you need more ATP. Okay, so in that case aerobic respiration will increase. The rate of aerobic respiration will increase, and for this you need more oxygen. How you will get more energy and more oxygen? By frequent breathing. Okay, by frequent breathing. That's why when we are running, our breathing rate increases. Why breathing rate increases? Because more ATPs are needed for the muscles to perform their activities. And how come our body will fulfill this need? By converting more glucose into ATP. Okay, by breaking down more glucose into ATP. Yes. So this is just one example that how our body perform different functions. Okay, now there is a discussion about specialized cells. Not all the cells perform the same function. Okay, just like you know in the organization, whatever the organization is, there are people who have some specific tasks. Okay, some special tasks. No other person do that task. For example, the if we talk about the director of an institute, he has some other task. He will not perform the activities just like other employees do in the company. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about the hiring recruitment department HRs, they have some specific work which cannot be performed by other people in the company. So this is known as specialized functions performed by the companies. Okay. Now, similarly, there are specialized cells within our bodies, which are why they are specialized? Because they perform some specific functions. Okay, which are not performed by ordinary cells. Okay, which are not performed by any other cell. They have some specific tasks, just like you know about the red blood cells. Red blood cells have a specific task. We are not. If I talk about the cell, so what comes in your mind? This a simple type of cell which we have discussed, just like this, right? If I talk about a cell, but if I talk about the red blood cell, so what will come into your mind? That it is specific for to carry oxygen, right? It is specific to carry oxygen. So definitely, if it is specific, so its shape will also be changed, its structure will also be changed. So this is what we are going to study now, the specialized cells. So the large organisms are multicellular. They are made up of many cells, different But they mentioned that large organisms are multicellular. They are made up of many cells.
Multiple
Yes, they are
differences.
multicellular. Are we eukaryotic or what is the category of human beings? Eukaryotic or prokaryotic? Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we are
Mm-hmm.
like prokaryotic.
No, I told you this in the first chapter
No,
that
no, we are eukaryotic because we have true nucleus and
yes, yes, exactly. Prokaryote,
organelles.
in prokaryote, there is just one category that is about bacteria. The simplest
Bacteria.
bacteria, yeah, they lie in prokaryotic activity, in the group, prokaryotic group. All other species are eukaryotes. Okay, all other species are
Eukaryote.
eukaryotes. It means they have a true nucleus. Definitely, there will be a true nucleus which will be performing different activities in them. Okay, so large organisms are multicellular. Wait for a minute. Let me place it on charge. Charging is less. Yes. Okay, I was telling you about the red blood cells. Just like the red blood cells have a specific function. So this they have mentioned here that the different type of cells have particular structure. Okay, their structure will also be particular. Okay, the shape will be particular, designed to help them carry out different tasks and functions. They have become specialized. Some example of specialized cells and their functions are shown. So what is the thing they have mentioned? The specialized cells are those which perform specific activities as well as their structures are also particular. They don't have ordinary structure just like all other cells. The structure is
Yeah.
particular. Okay. Now if we talk about the red blood cells, you know that red blood cells they transport the oxygen, okay, from lungs to different parts of the body, okay, from lungs to the tissues.
From
This
parts
is
of
the
the body.
function of yeah. This is the function of red blood cells. What is the shape of red blood cell? You see, this is biconcave. Biconcave means from this side it is concave and from lower side it is also
Below it.
concave. Yeah, that's why it is known as the shape of red blood cells is biconcave, and it has no nucleus. RBCs are anucleated cells. Okay, anucleated cells. They don't have any nucleus. So if there is no nucleus, why there is no nucleus? Because there is
They don't have
hemoglobin.
like a
Uh,
concave.
Without nucleus, there is more space for hemoglobin. Okay, nucleus carries a space.
Yeah.
If there is a nucleus, obviously it will carry some space. So without nucleus, you can see that this whole area will be dedicated to hemoglobin. Okay, and why hemoglobin is needed?
Yeah.
Because hemoglobin is the pigment which will carry oxygen. Okay, without hemoglobin, these red blood cells cannot carry the oxygen. Okay, the red blood cells cannot directly carry oxygen. There is a pigment known as hemoglobin. This hemoglobin is responsible to carry oxygen. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just like transport oxygen from they have mentioned red blood cells transport oxygen from the lungs to the tissues where aerobic respiration occur. Okay, why now they have mentioned the reason why oxygen is transported for this purpose. Okay, for this purpose for aerobic respiration. Why oxygen is transported through the cell? For aerobic respiration to convert the glucose into ATP. Okay.
Yes.
By the way, what will happen these two things
Yeah.
which will produce in the cell? What will happen with these things? Like ATP, ATP is being utilized. It is
Uh,
utilized by
yeah.
our body. What about water and carbon dioxide?
It's also like gonna store.
Does carbon dioxide store in us? Is it the case? Do
No,
we
not
store the
carbon.
carbon dioxide?
Carbon dioxide is gonna like get like
See,
it's gonna go out.
it will be exhaled out.
It's like a
Okay?
waste.
It is a waste
Exhaled
for
out.
us, so we will exhale it, And similarly, when we will exhale
And
it, the trees and plants will use this carbon dioxide. Okay,
yeah,
so this is
yes,
how
and
the
oxygen will be
excessive,
inhaled
yeah, oxygen will be inhaled, and in the photosynthesis process, if you know, let me write the for you. Yeah, this one. If you see this, I told you that photosynthesis is what? It is carbon dioxide plus water plus sunlight energy, which will convert it into glucose and oxygen, right? So this is photosynthesis
mm,
process which occurs in plants. It occurs in plants. Okay.
plants
If you see this, uh, what comes in our mind that from where this carbon dioxide is coming? This carbon dioxide in plants. From where it is coming?
from
Mm-hmm.
like in the atmosphere
Yeah, in the atmosphere as well as we exhale carbon dioxide. Okay, naturally carbon dioxide is present in the air as well as we exhale carbon dioxide in the process of aerobic respiration. You see the aerobic respiration, this red color reaction is aerobic respiration, which is happening within ourselves. What is aerobic respiration? It means the cells will use oxygen. Aerobic means aerobic is from the oxygen. Okay, aerobic is from oxygen. So basically it is from air and air, so it means oxygen. So aerobic respiration simply means that our cells they use oxygen. Okay, they use oxygen for what purpose? To break this glucose. Okay, to break the glucose molecule. And why we need to break the glucose molecule? Because we want ATP. Okay, are you getting this
mm,
idea? That why aerobic respiration
yes
occurs in our body? Simply, you know, from where glucose is coming, we are taking carbohydrates. Okay, we eat food. So when we intake carbohydrate, that carbohydrate convert into glucose, right? And then this glucose, I told you that this glucose cannot give you direct energy. What is needed? You need to convert it. Okay, you need to break it down. So the purpose of breaking it down is known as aerobic respiration. Why it is known as aerobic respiration? Because in this process, the process of this is the in this process of breaking glucose down, you need oxygen. Okay, so oxygen, in the presence of oxygen, this glucose molecule will be broken down, and it will be converted into carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. I was asking you what will happen with water and carbon dioxide. So you know that water is needed for us. Simply, whatever water is
mm,
produced in this process will be used by our body, right? ATP is also used, water is also used, but carbon dioxide is extra for us, right? It is extra. So
mm,
we will exhale this, right? On the same time, the
mm,
plant will intake the carbon dioxide, right? They will intake the carbon
mm,
dioxide and they will take water from the soil. Clear? And there will be sunlight
mm,
energy which will be used to convert this carbon dioxide and water into glucose molecule as well as oxygen. Now my question is that simply what is the purpose of this glucose and this oxygen in plants? What will happen with these two things in plants? Because we are discussing photosynthesis. Will they use
they use
glucose or not? Hmm?
like
Will they use the glucose?
the, yeah, yes
Yes. Why they will use? Because they are
for
autotrophic in nature. They
yes
prepare their
to
own food.
to
Okay.
make food
They are
yes
making their own food. Okay. What about oxygen?
oxygen they will like exhale out
Yeah. They will release
like
oxygen,
give out
which will be yeah. They will release oxygen, which will be used by our body. Okay.
um
We will inhale it as well as this oxygen is also needed for plants to do aerobic respiration. In plants, in plants there are two processes which are occurring: aerobic respiration as well as photosynthesis. But in our body there is just aerobic respiration. So they are using this oxygen for their own aerobic respiration process as well as they will release extra oxygen for what purpose? For us. we will utilize that oxygen. That's why we say that more plants, there should be more planting and more trees should be in the society. Why? Because when they will undergo the photosynthesis, what will they release? They will release oxygen, right? And then that oxygen will be utilized by us. Clear? That's why it is needed
Mm.
of forestation or the you can say to have plants.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes.
Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we were discussing. Yeah, we have discussed about the red blood cells. That what is the function of the red blood cells? They transport oxygen firstly, and they have mentioned that why transportation is needed for aerobic respiration. Okay, why if
Aerobic.
someone asks you why oxygen is needed, you cannot simply say that for breathing purpose. Now you are a biology student, you must know, and you must say that oxygen is needed for aerobic respiration in our body. And if someone asks you what is aerobic respiration, so what you will answer? That aerobic respiration is the breakdown of
A breakdown of like what's it called?
glucose
It's the breakdown of glucose by using oxygen.
to produce ATP.
ATP.
Yes, to
Yeah.
produce carbon dioxide, water, and ATP.
But it's
And if someone asks you,
while releasing carbon dioxide.
yeah, if someone asks you why aerobic respiration is needed, what will be your answer? Why it is happening?
So we get like oxygen in our body.
No, oxygen is utilizing. Why aerobic respiration is happening? For, see this, we need ATP. Okay, for different activities we
To
need
get
ATP.
energy.
Yeah, to get energy. I told you glucose
Hmm.
cannot directly give you energy. Glucose need to be converted.
Yeah.
It is the
ATP
need
and
of the
then give
body
energy to
to
our body.
convert, yeah, to convert the glucose. So to convert glucose into useful form, to get ATPs from the glucose, you need aerobic respiration. Okay, your body needs aerobic
Hmm.
respiration of the glucose. In the aerobic respiration, oxygen is used to convert the glucose into carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing is about the cytoplasm is filled with the pigment hemoglobin. Yeah, this I told you. The cytoplasm of red blood cells, it is filled with hemoglobin. This one
Hemoglobin.
over here there is, yeah, hemoglobin, and which carries oxygen. This carry oxygen on the hemoglobin. I told you this is oxygen carrying pigment. Hemoglobin is what? Oxygen carrying pigment. The cells have no nucleus. Okay, red blood cells have no nucleus, leaving
No
more
nucleus.
space for hemoglobin. This is what I was telling you. If, for example, if there was a nucleus, what will happen? Let's say there was this nucleus at this position. What will happen? There will be less space for hemoglobin, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
There will be just this space for hemoglobin. So they are saying that red blood cells, they don't have nucleus. Okay, they don't have nucleus. It means this whole space is available for hemoglobin. Okay, this whole space is available for hemoglobin. And when there is more
Yeah.
hemoglobin, what will happen? More oxygen will be carried. Okay, more hemoglobin
Yeah.
will carry more oxygen. Okay, and they are very flexible. These red blood cells are very flexible. Why they are flexible? Because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has created them in this way so that they can pass through a narrow blood cell, even through a narrow blood cell. You know, a narrow blood cell is just like what can if you see in our body, it is too narrow. Okay, it is too narrow. So from that, even from that, the red blood cells can pass. That's why they are
Hmm.
flexible. Okay. Now you see there are so many things which they have mentioned about the red blood cells. So there are chances that the examiner can ask you for 3 marks or for 4 marks because they have mentioned the function. Firstly, that red blood cells carry oxygen and why oxygen is being transported. So your answer should be that oxygen is transported for aerobic respiration. Then they have mentioned that they have no nucleus. What is the advantage of this? that without nucleus there is more space for hemoglobin. So more hemoglobin will be there, more oxygen will be carried, right? And third, they have mentioned that they are flexible. What is the advantage of flexibility? You know that the flexibility will allow red blood cells to pass even through narrow blood vessels. Okay, even through the narrowest blood vessels. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Now, can you recall what are the what is the function of red blood cells and what are some of the important
So
characteristics?
it's like where aerobic respiration occurs, and what's it called? It gives oxygen from the lungs to like the tissues in our bodies.
Hmm. Okay. And
Yeah.
what is the advantage of having no nucleus? What is its
So there's
advantage?
like more space for what's it called? In spinal cave,
Hemoglobin.
so there's more space for hemoglobin.
Yeah, it is biconcave and there is no nucleus. So the whole space is available for hemoglobin. And
Mm,
when there will be more hemoglobin, there will be more oxygen carried by the hemoglobin. Okay.
correct.
What is
Yeah.
the advantage of their flexibility?
Like what's it called? Like if it, it's easier to spread the oxygen in your body.
No, no. I am saying flexibility. Read the last line. What they mentioned. They are very flexible. I am
And
asking
they're
you
very
what is the
they can be
advantage.
forced through so they can be forced through any narrow blood vessels.
Yeah, this is what I was telling you. That this is the advantage of red blood cells. They are flexible, so they can even pass through narrow blood vessel. Otherwise, what will happen? If they will, if in some case, in any case, the red blood cells are not flexible. What will happen? They cannot pass through the narrowest blood
Yeah.
vessel, narrowest vein. What will happen then? There will be complexity. Okay, that's why Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has
Yes.
created such a system in the red blood cells. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now they have mentioned about the ciliated cells. You know the
Syllabus.
cilia are like this, the brush like this, this like,
Is it
this
in
like
our
thing.
body?
Yes, they are present in our body. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about the hair. Hair is something else. Okay, hairs are something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Cilia
Yes.
are quite similar to them. They have a layer of tiny hairs. You cannot say directly hair. Cilia is having a layer of tiny hair which can move and push mucus from one place to another. The mucus can transport, trap dust and microbes when it is pushed by the cilia. Okay, basically, in our nose, there are cilia present within our nose. So, what is the function of these cilia? They trap the dust particle. Okay, in our nose, there are cilia present. Also, they are present in our throat as well. Like, so what they do when we breathe, in the air there is dust. Why this dust cannot enter our lungs? Because there are checkpoints in our body. Okay, when we breathe in the nose, there are in the nostrils in our nostrils there are checkpoints. Those known as cilia. These cilia, what they do? They trap the dust particles. Okay, they move and push the mucus from one place to another, and then the mucus helps to trap the dust particles. Are you getting this?
Yeah, yeah.
That otherwise what will happen? If cilia will not be there, what will happen? All the dust present in the air will be in our lungs. Okay, so this is
Mm-hmm.
you can say they are providing as a filter. They are filter present in our nostrils. So whenever we breathe in air, no matter what is present in the air, all the dust particles in the air will be trapped by our nostrils. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
all the dust will be accumulated within our nostrils. Will be trapped by the mucus present in our nostrils. Okay, that's why
Of course.
in namaz, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has mentioned to wash your nostrils as well, because there is dust trap, right? So whenever we do wuzu, we uh, we take some water in our nostrils as well, right? Some quantity of water
Yeah.
in our nostrils. Why we take that? Because in our nostrils there is dust trapped in. Are you clear with the function of cilia? These are
Yeah.
specialized. Okay, they will not perform any other ordinary function. They have some specific function. They have to do that function. Ciliated cell cannot perform the function of RBCs. Similarly, red blood cells cannot perform the function of ciliated cells. They have their individual role. Clear?
Yeah.
Then there are motor nerve cells. Okay. Firstly, you know what are nerve cells? Nerve cells.
Maybe something that's in the
Hmm.
nerve to
Yeah,
support your nerves.
yeah, they are present in they are a part of nervous system. Okay, they are part of nervous system in which nerves
Nerves.
are needed. Okay, nerves are needed. Why nerves are needed? To carry electrical impulse. Okay, to carry electrical impulse, or simply you can say electrical signals from one part of your body to the other part. So this is the shape
Mm-hmm.
of the motor nerve cells. Okay, what is their function? The conduct nerve impulse. The cell has a long fiber called axon. Okay, this long fiber is known as axon, along which the impulse travel. Basically, you know what happens is that this is axon. Over here you have, there are these points. These points. Let me change the color for these points. These points. These points. So what happens is that nerve impulse is carried from this region, then to this region, then up to so on. Okay, in this way, the message from our nervous system is quickly transferred from one place to another. You see, what happens is that when there is fire in front of you, will you put your hand in the fire, or will you take it back from the fire?
Take a back.
Okay. Yeah. And similarly, what in emergency situation, what we do? We want to escape that emergency situation, right? We always do
Yeah,
that.
it's
Why
like
we
how
do
your
that? Yes.
how your body works.
Yeah. It is, and also it's an immediate response. We don't wait for like you are standing in front of a building and you are waiting. Okay, the fourth floor will burn, then fifth floor will burn, and then I will pray. This is not the case. When you see
Yeah.
there is emergency over there, your body will respond quickly. So this is how quick responses are transferred from nodes to node. Okay, from one node to another. So what they have mentioned is that the motor nerve. This is not only in the motor nerve. In all type of nerves, the the nerve impulse is transferred from this to this. Okay, from nodes to node. These are known as nodes of Renway. Nodes of Renway. This is natural in our body. This is how nerve impulse travel. Otherwise, it will take longer time. It will take longer time, and this is we will not say that this is an immediate response.
Yeah.
So why this immediate response occur? Because the nerve impulse travel from node to node, from one node to another node.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what they have mentioned the function of the nerve impulse. What is the function? Let me change the color. The cells has a long fiber. This long fiber red called an axon. This one is known as axon, which along which impulses travel, a fatty sheath which gives electric insulation, and many branch ending which can connect with many other cells. Okay, you see there is a ending, this ending. Can you see this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These endings. They are mentioning that these gray endings, why they are present? To
Yeah.
connect with other,
Other cells.
to connect with other motor neurons. Okay,
So they
with
give
other, yeah, to
like
give a
impulse, you know.
to give a path from, like for example, from your
Mm-hmm.
brain, from your central nervous system, the message needs to be transferred to your legs. So you see this is a long
Yeah.
distance. So how this long distance will be covered? From one motor neuron, one motor nerve will be connected to the other, from these points. Okay, from these connections. And how the
Mm-hmm.
message will be transferred from nodes to node. Okay, from nodes to node.
Yeah.
Clear? This is
Yes.
also one more thing they mentioned that that there is a fatty sheet. This red color outside there is a fatty sheet. Why there is fatty sheet?
Mm-hmm.
Because electrical impulse. This
Maybe
is
like to
electrical
protect.
impulse. Hmm. To protect our body. This is electrical
Yeah.
impulse. Due to this, we can have electric shock in our body. To avoid this, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has created a fatty sheet on this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, what will happen?
Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
I was thinking about the motor nerves, how they work, and how this is, uh, how there is a fast response, a quick response. Okay, not fast, we can say a quick response. So these are some of the specialized cells present in the animals. Okay, now they have mentioned one more thing in this, that is about the other specialized cells in the animals are the gametes. You know what are gametes? Gametes are the cells which are responsible for uh, they are known as specialized sex cells. Like for example, sperm in the male gamete, and egg in the female. Okay, so these are specialized cells. Sperm in the male and egg in the female. They are they're specialized, and when they fuse together, a zygote is formed. If you remember, I told you this. Let me write it over here. This female gamete. Male gamete is sperm, female gamete is egg. Okay, they both will combine, and what will form? A zygote will form. Okay, a zygote will form, and in the zygote, there will be total 46 chromosomes. Okay, 23. Uh, there are 46 in the sperm. There are 46 in the egg, but half will be given to the half from the egg and half from the sperm will be given. They will combine to form the zygote, and this zygote will then convert into what? Embryo. Okay, in within the mother womb. Okay,
Mhm.
so these egg and sperm. These are specialized cells. In female, the eggs are present. In male, there are sperms. Okay, these are the specialized things. Okay, these are some of the specialized cells which we have discussed today about the animal cell. What are these? Firstly, the red blood cells, then ciliated cells. What is the function of ciliated cells? These
What?
ciliated cells. What is their function?
It's uh to put like to push the mucus for the nostrils, so
Yes.
like the dust and
Yeah.
doesn't be
And
stuck there.
yeah. So these they trap the basically you will say they have mentioned that has a layer of tiny hairs which can move and push mucus from one place to another. The mucus can
Another.
transport dust and microbes when it is pushed by the cilia. This mucus what it can do? It can trap dust and microbes. Clear?
Yeah.
Then we also discussed about the motor nerve cell. That motor nerve cell they actually are responsible for the nerve impulse to be carried from your central nervous system to the different body parts. Okay. Basically, there are three types of nerves. There are three types of nerves. There are neurons. If we talk about the neurons, there are sensory neurons, there are relay neurons, and there are motor neurons. Motor nerve cells, now they have mentioned about the motor nerve cells. So the specific function of motor nerve cell is to conduct nerve impulse. Okay, their function is to
Yeah.
conduct nerve impulse. The cell has a long fiber called an axon, along with impulse that travel a fatty sheath which give electrical insulation. Okay, firstly over here I told you there is a fatty sheath which will give insulation, right? It will give insulation, and many branched endings will be there. Okay, many branch endings are there in this. So what is the function of these branch endings? They will connect with the other nerve. Okay, these branch endings will connect one motor nerve with the other, with the second or third motor nerve. This is how a long message will be conducted. Okay, clear?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.